Hey everybody, Arnaldo Waffman here, and today I want to talk to you about the ADJ Pinpoint GOBO. Now there's two versions of this guy. There's the white and there's the color version, and I got the white one over here. So first of all, what is this? This is a very portable GOBO projector. You'll see that it looks very similar to the PinSpot series. I'm going to talk about some of those differences that you'll see there. I'm going to show you how bright this is and some of the applications that you can use this for. Let's take a look. So if you haven't had a chance to actually play with one of these at one of the conventions, this is actually really well constructed. It's all metal design. On the side here, we have the focus and the zoom rings. And they're very nice and smooth, very easy to use. Now you have a 12 to 25 degree zoom on it. And that was something that was really surprising, is you have a really nice, small, portable projector, but you still have an actual zoom. So you do have a little bit of a variety on there. Now, this is powered by a 10-watt LED, and if you're thinking, well, hold on, 10 watts doesn't sound so bright, make sure to watch my video on why wattage doesn't matter when it comes to lighting. So if you see my video on this, I've talked about how the surface area is really important when you're talking about how bright something is. So it's a 10-watt LED, that's the power draw, but this LED has incredible optics, plus a small surface area. You'll see the GOBO holder right here, and what you get is you get a nice, bright, wide output, again, from 12 to 25 degrees. Now the GOBO replacement's super easy, right? You've got your little holder here, you replace your GOBO, and when you're done, you just lock it in. Now, this was made to be hung in all sorts of different directions, right? So if you're not familiar with the GO series, there's the Pinpoint GOBO, there's the PinSpot, and one of the nice things about that is that you have three different ways, okay? First of all, I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy out here, because the first way is by doing a drop ceiling, right? So you've got the drop ceilings, and then you can just go around here into the beam of the drop ceiling, clamp it, lock it tight, and you're good to go. So that's way number one. Way number two is with this really strong magnet. And it's a very strong magnet as you try to pull this whole thing apart. So you can just pop it in. If it's like on a metal wall or something, bam, you're good to go. And the last way is just by using a clamp. So you've got a hole in the middle, you can use a Global Truss Mini 360 clamp, or you could put it off to the side as well. So there's been a lot of times where I have multiple, different types of fixtures, and one event I have to put them, clamp them to the ceiling. The other event I'm clamping them to the truss. I don't want to have to keep switching back and forth, so I actually have my clamp here off to the side, and in case I need to attach it to the ceiling, it's there. If I'm attaching it to truss, I don't have to take this whole thing out. To be safe though, you also have the forged eye bolt right here. Now this actually screws to this part, so make sure that you always use a safety cable, especially when you're hanging things over people's heads. It's an important safety part, and the Pinpoint GOBO has not forgotten that. So one of the really nice things about the Pinpoint GOBO is the portability. It's gonna allow you to have a GOBO anytime, anywhere that you want, in places where you may not have been able to do a GOBO before. Hello, chickens. So what happened is, I'll give you an example. We had an event this past homecoming season, and we had to do a GOBO right in the entrance. So we set up our T-stand, we hung our GOBO projector, and then we realized that the nearest power outlet was 150 feet away. Again, not a big deal. We ran an extension cord. It was LED, so even though there was a voltage drop, it wasn't a big deal when it came to amperage pull, because again, it's LED, right? But then what happened was, now we had to sit there and we had to tape that entire cable down. It was a hassle. You know what we could have done is, I could have just gotten that stand and clamped it on there. You know what, I could have omitted the stand because it was on beams. So I could have easily attached this to the magnet, to the beam, and then took a safety cable and wrapped it all the way around. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not usually a big fan of putting just stuff via magnets, okay, because there isn't a second point of safety. But this little eye bolt here adds that second point of safety. By having a safety cable in there and I wrap it around the beam, I know that if for any reason this magnet gives out, that safety cable is gonna catch it. And that's really important. But this magnet, again, is really strong. I actually attached the one for the PinSpot, right? For the actual PinSpot that it comes with. I attached it to my air conditioning vent, and when I went to pull it down, my whole air conditioning vent came down with it. So yeah, the magnet is pretty strong. It's got an attractive all-white design, so again, it hides nicely in most places. It looks elegant in country clubs. And the really nice advantage of it being battery operated, being able to hang it directly above. I've done a lot of, whether it's monograms on the floor or wall patterns. And if the ceilings are low, I always get, "Grandma, could you turn that off?" because she has to sit and stare at the monogram projector, the Gobo projector, the entire time, right? She can't sit the other way. No, she's got to sit there and stare at it. Well, what happens is when these are on the corners, it's pretty much blinding anybody that it's hitting. But in this case, I can now have this directly over the dance floor. Now this means that I have a monogram that's perfectly centered, that is not skewed. This is really important when you're wanting to establish your brand as a lighting professional and you're coming in with a skewed gobo. It doesn't look good. So this is gonna easily prevent that. Now, as far as turning it on or off, we've got a few basic controls. This isn't just on, off, and that's it. First, you have on the back here, you've got your fade and strobe buttons. So if you are doing, like, for example, let's say you're doing a Halloween event and you want to have like some flashing lightning and stuff, you know, in a gobo, just something to look really unique. You put it on the strobe, you put it at the rate you want, have different forms of lightning, or you can have eyes fading in and out. Again, a different way to use this just slapping a gobo on the floor. You also have your IR for your, IR remote, or you can use Airstream IR to control it. But what I like that they did here is they have it in the back and in the front, because it always happens that whenever I have an IR fixture, the side that's facing me is the side that doesn't have the IR LED. So this does have the receiver on both sides, very easy to control. As far as aiming it, again, super simple. You just attach it, you lock this in, there's just one screw on your yoke, and you are good to go. Now, if this is gonna be a permanent installation or it's gonna be a semi-permanent and you really wanna tighten this down, you can use a flathead screwdriver to tighten this in, and you know that it's not going to move. The ADJ Pinpoint GOBO only takes about 6.5 hours to charge, from pretty much depleted all the way to where it's full. As far as how long it actually lasts you, it really depends. Remember, I'm in Florida, and my battery life may be a little bit different than, let's say, somebody in Minnesota. But the published specs say that you get about 5 hours at full on, you get 10 hours at the 3.3 watt mode, and then you get like 12.5 hours on energy saving. Energy saving basically dims it down the lower that it gets. Right off the bat, you may think, okay, well, what if I need more than 5 hours? Does that mean that it's gonna be dim? No. Even, let's say, at half the brightness, it's still pretty bright. I can tell you that, and you'll see in the video, you can clear quite a bit of a distance having this at full on. Having it at half distance, if you need it more than 5 hours, you're still gonna get plenty of brightness. But if you have, let's say, a 4-hour wedding, that's how long you need to run it for, but you don't want to have to set it up, the hour prior, set it up, put it on standby with the remote, and you're good to go. They make it really easy, or you've got your power switch in the back. So again, this is the ADJ Pinpoint GOBO. This is the white version, really nice, attractive, super small and portable. Look at the size of this thing. This is awesome. This is ADJ's smallest gobo projector, and even though it's only an 11 watt total power draw, do not let that fool you. This sucker is bright. My name is Arnaldo Wofferman. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please leave them down below. You guys have a great night. God bless.